Good morning. What a beautiful day to be hiking in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Got about a 17-mile hike today, starting at the 20-mile ranger station, and gonna take 20 mile up to Wolf Ridge, hiking that up to Gregory Bald, coming down Long Hungry, over to 20-mile loop, and then back down 20 mile to the ranger station. It's going to be a great day hiking, a lot of elevation gain here, so I'm really looking forward to it. Get out and do some hiking if you can. Let me show you some of these trails. So right at the beginning of the trail, you've got several of these log bridges that you can cross, thankfully. Get some good views off of them of the creek below you. Just be careful, they are slippery when they're wet. Very slippery. All right, there we go. All right, I'm at the Wolf Ridge and 20-mile loop intersection. I'm gonna head up Wolf Ridge. It's about 6 miles to Gregory Bald. And from what I understand, it is completely uphill. So it should be interesting. It's gonna be a good climb. I'm gonna take some of these layers off before I go. So I don't get too sweaty. I don't want to be cold up there. So I'm going to take some layers off, go get to hiking. I'll show you some of the trail as I go up. First couple of miles on Wolf Ridge are pretty tame. I know it's going to get a lot worse, but pretty tame. Coming up on campsite 95 here. And that goes way back in there. Looks like a pretty big campsite. I'm not gonna go visit it, but looks pretty good. And not a very hard hike to get to it. So if you want something fairly quick, fairly easy to get to, that would be it. Let's keep going. And for those of you doing this trail, just know, if you make it to campsite 95, you've gone the wrong direction. You need to head up to the right here at Parson Bald, the Parson Bald sign. So just know, don't be an idiot like me. If you make it to campsite 95, you've gone too far. So let's get back on the trail and go where I'm supposed to go. So I'm 4 miles into the hike now, and I started out at around 1,300 foot elevation. I'm now up to about 3,000 foot, a little bit over 3,000 foot, and I've got to go to 5,000. So for those of you who like uphill, this is the trail for you, because there's a lot of uphill on this trail. Not complaining because it's a beautiful day hiking. And this is Wolf Ridge Trail. I'm pretty representative of Wolf Ridge Trail. Not a lot to see on it, but this is the trail. You can see some of the beautiful woods that you get to see. That is when you're not passing out. All right, let's keep going. Over 5 miles into the trail now. Got about 1,000 more feet of elevation to gain. And it has been absolutely beautiful out here. Trail's been nice, no complaints whatsoever, besides the steepness. The woods have been absolutely beautiful. There's not been a soul on this trail besides me. So just making my way up. We're up above 4,700 foot now, and this is Bald. So it's not necessarily a true bald, but because there are some trees up here, but it is labeled as Bald. So I've got about 200 more foot of elevation to climb, heading towards Sheep's Bend right now, campground there. And then Gregory Bald right after that. But it's been a beautiful hike. It's starting to get cold now. It's in the low 30s now. And so once I get up to Gregory Bald, I'll put my layers back on. I definitely didn't need them on that climb, but I'll need them up here. All right. Let's keep hiking. Gregory Bald, 1/8 of a mile. And this 360 of Bald. All right, let's get up to Gregory Bald, 1/8 of a mile. So I've made it to the Sheep's Pen campsite, right over there. And I have a 1/2 mile left to go to get to Gregory Bald, and that's where I'll gain the rest of my elevation. And for those of you hiking this trail, if you need water, if you go right down, go right down that direction, probably about 100 yards, is a really nice water source. It's not too far, a little bit downhill, but nothing that's too concerning. So, all right, let's go the 1/2 mile to Gregory Bald. I'll probably stop and eat lunch there. And let's get the rest of this done. Here we go. All right, there it is. This is my view from Gregory Bald right now. Unfortunately, it rained last night and the night before and the night before that, and so it's really foggy, unfortunately, and socked in. So if you're going to come and do this hike, I would recommend that you plan it around good weather. Especially make sure it didn't rain the night before, because this is what you get when it rains the night before. You get little to no view, but it is still beautiful up here. It's in the low 30s right now, so I'm about to pack up and get back on trail. Made it to the intersection of the Gregory Bald Trail and the Long Hungry Ridge Trail. I'm going to be taking Long Hungry Ridge down about 4.6 miles to 20 mile and eventually back to the 20 mile ranger station there. And so let's get on it. Let's get this trail done. Been hiking down Long Hungry Ridge Trail now for a couple miles, and this has been pretty representational of how the trail's been. It's been steady downhill, beautiful trail. I'll show you some of the woods here. I mean, absolutely gorgeous forest. Very easy trail to hike down. Imagine I'd have a different opinion if I was hiking up it, but a good time, good trail. So coming to a water crossing on Long Hungry Ridge Trail, and this was probably rock hoppable. Approaching the next water crossing, and this one doesn't look too bad. I'll probably get a little bit wet, but I might go down here to this section down here. Looks pretty shallow. All right, campsite 92. Take a look around. Luckily on this one they do have markers to show you which way the trail goes, unlike 95 where you can walk right past it and not realize it. Made it to the intersection of the Long Hungry Ridge Trail and the 20 mile loop trail, and so I'm going to take 20 mile loop over to Wolf Ridge and then take that down to 20 mile and then back to the ranger station. And that Long Hungry Ridge Trail, that was a nice trail. That was a beautiful trail. Very pleasant, very easy to hike going downhill, so highly recommended. But let's get this hike finished up, and 2.9 to Wolf Ridge. On 20 mile loop trail now, and the first half of this trail it was uphill, so that was exciting, and now it's kind of flattened out. I'm probably about a mile from 20 mile trail, maybe not that far. Thankfully there's a bridge here. Made it back to the Wolf Ridge Trail and 20 mile loop trail intersection. I'm going to take Wolf Ridge back to 20 mile trail and about a mile, a little bit more, and then we'll be back to the truck. Let's go. Started at 20 Mile Ranger Station, went up 20 Mile Trail to Wolf Ridge Trail, and Wolf Ridge Trail up to Gregory Bald, and that is uphill. It is a beast, and so be prepared for a climb on that one. Gregory Bald is as beautiful as ever. Unfortunately, it's socked in today with all the rain we've had over the last couple days. It was fogged up, but it's still beautiful up there. And then grabbed Gregory Bald Trail and took that over to Long Hungry Ridge Trail, and took that down. Long Hungry Ridge is an absolutely beautiful trail. Easy to hike, downhill, just cruisy, and just through some beautiful woods. And I came around to 20 Mile Loop Trail, and that one gives you a little kick in the side there with a little bit of uphill for about the first half of it, and then it switches off and flattens out. And then you take that around to Wolf Ridge again, and then back down to 20 Mile Trail and back down to the ranger station. And I could tell you, some people do this the opposite direction, and you know, for me personally, I like to have the steep part right up front, and then just kind of glide down. Some people are the other way around. Some people like to have a gradual ascent and then a steep down. So, you know, whatever floats your boat. There's plenty of water all along the trail. Once you get up to Gregory Bald, if you need some water, then it's right there down from Sheep's Pen. But other than that, it's a great trail, great day hiking. Highly recommend all these trails here. So get out, do some hiking. I'm gonna put some links up here in the corners. Watch those if you don't mind. Like and subscribe if it helps you. And God bless. We'll see you on the next one.